channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the follow-up to Under the Dark Star Classes and Races by having a look at the monster manual and kind of a lore book which is called Wasteland Monsters. So yeah, these were written by George Valentini. He's been playing Dark Sun but using these ShadowDark rules for several years now, and his group encouraged him to put pen to paper to commit what they've been playing, and he's done that, and he's uploaded both books onto TTRPG, so that's a good place to start. So we'll just go over to there so I can show you where you can pick it up and what's included in this book. I've already covered the Players and Classes book, and link for that will be in the description below. This is more of a games master's booklet, so if you're going to be playing a campaign in this sort of world, probably it's better if you don't watch much of this. Send your games master to this so he's got some more monsters and creatures to throw at you. As you can see, beholder not beholder on the front cover as well, because this book is, so what do we've got in here? We've got 51 new monsters, psionic creatures, 3 powerful, well, most powerful witch kings on there, some void spawns, which is a type of alien, and then the book's going to close down with a god-killing void dragon, and it does say some art here. So this is a 37-page PDF. If you're going to pick up this or any other books on TTRPG, please do use my affiliate link that will be in the description of the video, because again, I pay for these books. So what it means is once I buy it, and I'll do a review of it, and obviously then you can see, and then obviously any money that comes from the affiliate link, I can then put it back into purchasing more books for the channel. Really enjoyed Players and Classes. I thought it's a really worthwhile book. What am I going to think of the Wasteland Monsters? So I'll just now take you through the book so you can just see how, well, let's just say the camera's on, so it's going to be a good one. So opening up with the art here, this is amazing. The detail on the eyeball here for the not beholder. It is called something else. We'll get into it as we get into the books. So it's 38 pages here. Really love the opening artwork here. All the book is hyperlinked, which I always appreciate when a creator actually bothers to hyperlink everything in here. There is some art, as it says on the TTRPG link, and it's sort of distributed throughout the book, which is always really good. We've got the history of the world, which is why I'm saying it doesn't really substitute for a games master, but it gives you an idea of what's going on and why things happen. So 1,000 years ago, this is basically on the right hand side here, what happened to the sun. So we've got the redder outline and the dark, well, sorry, I should say dark star, not dark sun. And then over the next sort of 1,000, 2,000 years, these witch kings here, variety of them, say 3 are included in this book, which is really handy. They sort of take over the world. And the world itself is a very arid desert planet. It does have pockets of forestry and, you know, some of the sort of frozen mountain regions, but most of the planet is a big desert rock. Water's very sparse, resources and metal is very sparse. So you're going to have a lot of player characters in here fighting with bone, weapons and things like that. So it's it's a very brutal, sort of Mad Max, but still fantasy, so you don't get all the cars, etc. Most creatures also have psionics as well. That is covered in, well, both of the other books that I've looked at on this channel, and there is quite a good theme in here for psionics as well, which again was one of the big sort of selling points of Dark Sun back in the 90s. Right, if you're a player, so you definitely should have gone by now. So we'll go through some of the creatures in a little bit more depth, so there are going to be spoilers of. And what I do like about what George has put in here with just a few snippets of information, it gives you a little bit that you can sort of create as a games master. So here we've got, is it Udvar the Dragon King? He was the first immortal and ancient wizard who uncovered the secret to transform into a dragon. And, you know, he did that, lived as a dragon for centuries, and then basically became one of the most powerful sort of sorcerer kings on the planet. He's got his stats here. He's up to his level 22. Variety of legendary and shape-shifting abilities, breathing fire, and variety of spells. And then we're going to just get into lots and lots of other sort of creatures and NPCs. And like you'd expect from a ShadowDark book, we've got a brief little paragraph above it. So we've got, like here, the desert ant, which is a large ant clad in black exoskeleton, a fierce defender with psychic link to its hive and queen. So that just then say there's quite a lot of descriptors in there. It's got a hive, so you can sort of bring in a burrow speed, etc. The Cenobites here are both the priests that work for the Witch Kings and the bureaucrats of the city, so they're quite important. George has also included the roles for each of the creatures in here, so you get an idea if you are going to use the role within ShadowDark of where they should sort of stand or what they should be doing within combats. Then it does give you a good guide in here. And you're just going to go through here a variety of different pages. We've got the Dragon Cultists and Dragon Soldiers. And as we go through, some of these are going to feel very familiar. For example, Half Dwarf Gladiator, which is quite a common theme. One of my favourite things to play in Dark Sun was a Mul Gladiator. The only thing I'm a little bit sad about is the fact that it has got a long sword here, not wrist razors. However, wrist razors are included in the players and classes book, so you can actually build these. Half Giant Raider, anyone? Again, sounds familiar because it should do. We then have the second one of the Sorcerer Kings, which is that Calamadria? We'll go with that. And she was Advar's student, and likewise she managed to become a dragon, and there's a bit of conflict. Advar killed her, and then she came back as a lich, well, a Dracolich. And who doesn't? That's actually one of the best scenes from Game of Thrones. I'm going to get side. No, I'm not. I'm not going to get sidetracked. So let's just carry on going. But again, legendary undead abilities here, level 19. So she's not quite as powerful, but a variety of different weapons and spells as you'd expect from her. So that's the second one. We've got one more to come up, and then we're going to get into things like there's some raptors and some rhinothrax, which you'd imagine sort of more dinosaurs. And then we get the last one here, which is the Sun King. And what's this? It's Ra-En. Is that Urg? I don't know, but look at the image. Very much Egyptian, sort of god inspired. And that's why I like to say all three of them that are in here. Oh, it also does sort of detail a little bit about the cities where and the councils where they reside now. Should give you three big antagonists for your adventures, for your players, and there's lots and lots of additional creatures to put in. So this is fully compatible with Shadow Sun as well. So I would recommend you get all three books. Kind of going into my end of thoughts before I get to it. And then we get this section here on the Void Spawn. So when the sun was torn open and darkness engulfed it, the Void Spawn entered the world. So these are twisted and alien races. So this is another, so it's just a twist that he's put on. Personally, I don't remember these in Dark Sun. They may have been in there. I think this is a little bit of a homebrew, which I really appreciate. If it isn't, and we never played into that run, let me know down in the comments below. But I like these void creatures because, again, different types of powers, but with more psionic abilities. But what it does is you've got this sort of twist on things like wolves. We've got plague wolves, and then we've got void skeletons, void spirits. But it does end in this wonderful void watcher, which is really the creature on the front. It's a not a beholder for obvious reason, but it does have a eye ray, and it's got 10 different rays that you're going to roll each round and just do some sort of random effect with one central eye that's going to have just a constant ability. And then finally get one of the last of the Sorcerer Kings here, which is the final, what's a big boss here, a Void Dragon. It's a level 28 creature, legendary immunities, storm breath, permanent death, avoidance. It's, again, nice, wonderful little book. I say little, it's got a lot in it for 38 pages. I think I've already sort of spoilt my final thoughts. Because what's that, 370 for the PDF, and so if you get both of them, it costs me less than, well, it's just over £7 I think for the two. Brilliant. You've got options. You only need these two really to play it. And what George has said I wasn't stalking him, but I saw a comment that he'd written about these books, is that he is going to be doing a world book as well, which is absolutely amazing. These are so projects of passion, and they're being added to all the time, which is why it's not currently available for print on demand, because it's not finally settled, and some of the art sort of changes. So since I've bought them, there have been new copies already, so that I think it's going to be a project of passion and development that's just going to keep coming out until George is finally happy with it. But obviously there's no reason you can't get that now on the PDF. Go and play Dark Sun in a world where you can play it with the ShadowDark rule books and settings. actually, because it's the way the compatibility works, I actually think you'd really get away your old Dark Sun books with both of these. These are really good. I'm really impressed with George. These are the only two writing credits I found for him on Drive-Thru RPG. But obviously, if you put something else on, given on how much I do like these books, I think I'll jump straight on them. As ever, if you've enjoyed what I do, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're going to buy something on Drive-Thru RPG, and if you're going to buy this book especially, please do use my affiliate link. And I appreciate everyone that's using it because it does help me buy some more books. And as ever, thank you for watching.